In February 2014, professional golfer Steve Elkington posted a tweet that would change everything. He wrote about Michael Sam, an openly gay NFL prospect. ESPN reporting Michael Sam is leading the handbag throw at NFL Combine. No one else expected to throw today. This homophobic joke sent shockwaves through the sports world and marked the beginning of the end for Elkington's reputation. The backlash was immediate and severe. Fans, media, and fellow athletes condemned the tweet as offensive and completely inappropriate. The PGA Tour quickly stepped in, instructing Elkington to delete the post. But the damage was already done. This single moment would define how people remembered Steve Elkington, not as a champion golfer, but as a controversial figure who couldn't control his words. Steve Elkington wasn't always known for controversy. Born in Australia in 1962, he had built an impressive career on the golf course. His biggest moment came in 1995 when he won the PGA Championship at Riviera Country Club. The victory was dramatic. He defeated Colin Montgomerie in a playoff with a clutch 20-foot birdie putt. That win made him the fourth Australian to claim the PGA Championship title. Elkington also dominated the Players' Championship, winning it twice in 1991 and 1997. Among all the players who have won this prestigious tournament multiple times, Elkington holds the record for the shortest span between victories at just 6 years. Throughout the 1990s, he racked up 10 PGA Tour wins, showing consistent excellence at the highest level of professional golf. His swing was considered one of the most beautiful in golf. Despite battling chronic sinus problems throughout his career, Elkington maintained perfect tempo and form. Golf experts praised his technique, calling it smooth and effortless. He represented Australia in the President's Cup 4 times and earned the Varden Trophy in 1995 for having the lowest scoring average on tour. But Elkington's golf achievements would eventually be overshadowed by his behavior off the course. Social media became his downfall, and the Michael Sam tweet was just the beginning of a pattern that would destroy his reputation. After posting the offensive joke about Michael Sam, the PGA Tour didn't just ask Elkington to delete it, they took serious action. He was suspended for 2 weeks and fined $10,000. The tour's rules clearly state that conduct unbecoming a professional includes public commentary that is clearly inappropriate or offensive. Elkington had crossed that line. Instead of showing remorse, Elkington defended himself. He claimed he was for Sam, but against ESPN telling me he's gay. He said he was frustrated with the media's focus on Sam's sexual orientation. Even worse, while trying to make an all-equal point, he used the outdated and offensive term Oriental to describe Asian people. Despite facing real consequences for his actions, Elkington maintained he didn't regret the tweet. He viewed the situation as a "you can't win either way" scenario and claimed he had served his sentence. This attitude showed he fundamentally misunderstood why people were upset. It wasn't about political correctness. It was about basic human decency. The Michael Sam controversy wasn't Elkington's first offensive social media post. In 2013, while competing in the Senior British Open, he had made racist comments about the English town of Southport. He described it as having fat tattooed guy, fat tattooed girl, trash, Pakistani robber guy, and used a racial slur against Pakistani people. When called out for these comments, Elkington claimed he was unaware that his language would cause offense due to his Australian background. This excuse fell flat with most people, who saw it as an attempt to avoid responsibility for clearly inappropriate language. After the Michael Sam incident, Elkington continued his controversial behavior. In 2015, he made derogatory comments about Caitlyn Jenner's transition, posting, "He was on the Wheaties box, now on Fruit Loop box." When confronted about this, he claimed it wasn't his original joke, but admitted he questioned whether society should embrace transgender people. Media outlets began calling Elkington names like moron, ignorant loudmouth, and obnoxious bore. His pattern of offensive comments was becoming impossible to ignore. Each incident reinforced the perception that he was out of touch with modern values and unwilling to learn from his mistakes. Elkington consistently framed himself as a victim of political correctness. He claimed that a lot of people are tired of all the political correctness and that he was being unfairly targeted. This victim mentality allowed him to avoid taking real responsibility for his words and their impact on others. The situation reached a breaking point in 2017 when Elkington picked a fight with Rory McIlroy on Twitter. After McIlroy missed the cut at the U.S. Open, Elkington questioned his dedication to golf, tweeting, "Rory is so bored playing golf without Tiger. The threshold is probably 4 majors with 100 million in bank." McIlroy fired back hard, correcting Elkington's estimate and posting a screenshot of his career achievements. When Elkington made a grammar mistake in his response, McIlroy mocked his age and education level. The media largely sided with McIlroy, characterizing his responses as destroying or owning the older golfer. Speaking of staying connected to what matters most, let me tell you about Fubo. Just like how athletes need to stay current with their sport, you need to stay current with all the action. Fubo gives you access to live sports, news, and entertainment all in one place. Whether you're following golf controversies or catching the latest games, Fubo has you covered. Don't miss out on the moments that matter. Try Fubo today. The fallout from this Twitter feud was significant. McIlroy announced he was quitting social media for the time being, explicitly citing the spat with Elkington as the main reason. This meant that one of golf's biggest stars withdrew from direct fan engagement because of Elkington's behavior. It showed how his actions were harming not just his own reputation, but the sport as a whole. The consequences of Elkington's behavior extended far beyond social media drama. His relationship with the PGA Tour became strained. After his suspension and fine, he admitted he no longer participated in activities to promote the Champions Tour, saying nobody wins from the situation. The tour maintains a policy of not commenting publicly on disciplinary actions, which may have actually hurt their cause. This silence allowed Elkington to control the narrative and frame his punishment as something he had simply served rather than learned from. Golf as a sport has historically struggled with appearing socially out of step and stuck in the past. Elkington's controversial comments reinforce this negative image, making the sport appear entrenched in discarded history. As a former major champion, he was seen as a representative of professional golf, and his behavior reflected poorly on the entire sport. The contrast between Elkington's on-course discipline and his off-course behavior was striking. The same mental fortitude that allowed him to sink crucial putts under pressure seemed to abandon him completely when it came to social media. The skills that made him successful in golf, focus, patience, and strategic thinking, didn't translate to his public communications. After burning bridges with traditional golf organizations, Elkington found a new path forward. He co-founded Secret Golf, a digital content platform that started as an ebook and grew into a multimedia venture. The platform features golf instruction and entertainment, with Elkington hosting a weekly show on CBS Sports Network. This entrepreneurial move allowed Elkington to maintain relevance in the golf world while bypassing the traditional gatekeepers who had sanctioned him. By creating his own platform, he could control his narrative and monetize his expertise without having to answer to tour officials or sponsors concerned about his reputation. Steve Elkington's legacy is impossible to separate from his controversies. His athletic achievements were genuinely impressive. A major championship, multiple tour wins, and recognition as one of the best ball strikers of his generation. But these accomplishments have been overshadowed by his inability to communicate respectfully in the digital age. The transformation from respected champion to controversial figure happened gradually, then all at once. Each offensive comment built on the previous ones, creating a pattern that became impossible to ignore. His refusal to show genuine remorse or change his behavior only made things worse. Elkington's story serves as a cautionary tale for all public figures. In the age of social media, your reputation can be destroyed by a single poorly thought-out post. The same platforms that offer direct connection to fans can also amplify your worst moments to millions of people. Perhaps most importantly, Elkington's career demonstrates how public figures must adapt to changing social expectations. What might have been considered acceptable decades ago is no longer tolerated in today's more inclusive society. Athletes who fail to evolve with these changes risk having their entire legacy redefined by their worst moments. Steve Elkington will be remembered as a talented golfer whose career was ultimately defined by controversy rather than achievement. His story shows that in the modern world, how you handle your platform matters just as much as how well you perform in your sport.